Welcome back to Indie Book Publishing, helping authors publish, promote, and sell their books around the world. Now, back to your host, Steve Jorgensen.
The title of the book, The Dawn Chorus, and the author is Aimee. And Aimee joins us now on Indie Book Publishing. This interview brought to everyone by Balboa Press. Hello, Aimee.
Hello, everyone.
You call yourself the channel. You also call yourself an intuitive healer.
Yep, that's correct.
Let me read what you've written about your book. You say this: it's a collection of channeled messages and artwork from Divine Spirit designed to uplift the soul and guide us along the path to transformation during this time of transition upon the earth. Well, I want to ask you about this time of transition upon the earth, but first of all, Aimee, tell us about yourself, all the things that you've learned, your experiences in a brief way, and then why did you decide to publish your book?
Well, I've always been connected to spirit ever since I was little. I was raised Christian, and I remember sitting in church and moving across so that Jesus could sit next to me. So I've always had a very strong connection to spirit, and it was when I was about 19, and I went over to Sydney in Australia, and it was my first time being away from home, and that's when I sort of really started to hear my guides and see them, and I had a couple of experiences where, I kind of could have got into trouble, but I heard my guides speaking to me, and I followed their guidance, and then I went and did my teacher training, and when I did that, I went and learnt pranic healing, and it kind of just opened a whole lot of doors for me, and it was really an experience that helped me to grow more into who I was, and so I started channeling more. I've always written, but I started to be able to hear my guides and spirit talking to me, and I would write down what they said, and as I started treating people and doing healings, there would be messages that came through for them, for their spirit and for their journey, and it sort of all came from there, and I left Australia when my daughter was about a year old, and I had a friend who said, let's just all sit in a circle and do some healing together and heal ourselves, and it sort of became a place where lots of different energies came to be healed, and from that, I started having like channels come through for like mass groups of people, and we started doing healing events, and when healing events, Spirit would bring through channels for that group of people to speak to them about, what was happening for them. And that's actually how this book came about. It's actually a collection of channeled messages that were shared with the groups that we worked with, and people would come up and say to me, look, I'd really like a copy of that. That really spoke to me, and Spirit sort of guided me to put it into book form, and then they brought through the paintings, and it sort of all went from there.
So the book is filled with paintings, with prose, and some poems.
It's mostly channeled messages, this particular book, The Dawn Chorus. It's mostly channeled messages that reflect kind of where we're at the moment in our Earth transition and the things that are going on. Like the Earth at the moment, there's lots of old ways of being and old energies that are falling away, and the new way and new ways of being are coming in. I think most people who are listening to this can probably look around their lives and know even somebody, or maybe it's even happening to them, that there's things in their life that are falling away, things that, no longer serve them. And sometimes it can be a really tumultuous time for people, and sometimes if they're aware and conscious of what's happening, it can be just a conscious letting go and growing more into who they are. And the energy of the Earth and the vibration of the Earth is lifting to such a state that people can't maintain all those old ways of being anymore. They are going to fall away, and the new way is coming in. And when I talk about the new way, I mean, being intuitive, like everybody is intuitive. Everybody has that connection to the divine, and so it's starting to become more prominent. It may even be that people get little intuitions of like, maybe I need to go into that shop, and maybe it wasn't the shop that you needed to go there for, but you came out and you met somebody that you were needing to connect with and had been thinking about a lot. Those sort of little connections are happening more and more with people.
When you talk about spirit, is this the spirit that we hear so much in church, or is this something different than just a specific church kind of teaching?
I do believe, for me personally, because I was raised Christian, I think of it as God. But, there's a lot of people out there that know it by a different name. It might be that they, connect with Krishna, or they connect with, the name, the Supreme Being, or the creative source. It's all the one energy. There is a creative energy that made us, that is a part of us, that's a part of everything, from the sky to, the leaf to the cat to the dog. And that's the kind of spirit that I'm talking about when they come through and I say that spirit has been speaking and things. That's the spirit. It's the part of the creative energy that made all things and is a part of all of us.
So these messages come to you for a specific person, or for at a specific time? How do these messages, these channeled messages, come?
Well, it's amazing. It's kind of, I just start hearing them talking, and so I scribe it down, and it may be, that it's been for a particular group that we went to, but Spirit's amazing in that they are so multi-dimensional that one message can be for many people, and that the energy that comes through it can be different for different people as well. I've had messages that they've brought to me personally, and at the time it's meant something to me, and then I've come back and I might have gone through something else in my life, and I come back and I read it again, and it means something different to me, and I still get the energy from it, and I still get that support from it. So Spirit is multidimensional. These messages are living energy. So when people connect in with them, they get what they need at that particular time in their life, and the guidance that they need for that particular time in their life.
Now, who are is it Kala in the ancients?
Kala and the ancients?
Right. You say you work with them.
Yes, I do. Kala and the ancients are a collective of energies that are star-based, and they are great beings of light, and they come through the channel called Kim Shields, and they come through in light language. So this channel actually speaks, over 1,500 different light languages, and downloads and energetic energies and things are downloaded through those light languages, and healing is brought through. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I feel very honored to be a part of that team and to be working with those energies and those great beings of light. That's a real blessing.
You mentioned that we might go into a shop and see a crystal, we pick it up, and it just kind of resonates with it. We just have to buy it for some reason. We can't leave the shop without it. And also, you feel energy, you feel the spirit in church because God is there. But your book, you also say, your book is that kind of experience. Once you open it, you're going to feel the spirit.
Yeah, you will. It's Spirit has sort of, I used to ask how to describe, the vibrational paintings and things that are channeled through. And Spirit came through and they said that it's kind of like that I'm the courier driver, and I come and I deliver the package. And the package is the painting or this book. And what's inside it, the courier driver, me, I'm not going to know everything that's inside it for you, because that's between you and Spirit. This is a package that's delivered to you from Spirit, and it's just, I happen to be the courier person. And the package just happens to be this book. When somebody opens it, they are going to get what they need from it, because it's all about intent. And that's why it says at the start of the book, whatever you feel you need, give intent for it now, because Spirit is listening. On the 3D level, it's just a book, but on the spiritual and energetic plane, it's whatever you actually need it to be, because it is a link to Spirit. It is a tool for an individual to use to help them connect with Spirit and to feel that energy of home and that energy of support, and those that, love us, like our angels and our guides, to come through and be able to touch us and support us in whatever we're doing at any particular time.
So the book is just a tool.
In a way, yes, it is. Yeah, I saw it working in a really amazing way, and that my Nena is not hugely, into all the spiritual stuff, and she was reading the book in support of me, and she opened it up, and she had 3 words stand out to her straight away, and she said to me, "Oh my gosh, it's working already, because that's exactly what I needed to know," and it said, "Love yourself first." And that was a lesson that she was going through at the time. So when somebody reads it, there will be different parts that stand out to them at different points in their life that are messages for how Spirit's talking to them. I use it myself, and if I'm needing some guidance or needing some extra support or some refocusing, I will open it up just at a particular page, and then I read what's there, and I can feel the energy coming through, and I know that it gives me the boost that I need and helps me refocus and go where I'm needing to go.
You mentioned before there's this time of transition upon the earth. Is that for good, or how do you describe this time of transition that I guess we're going through right now?
Yeah, we are going through a time of transition right now, and it's actually, it depends on your perception and how you see it, but, there'll be those that are going through big, huge shifts in their life. There might be people passing on, or relationships are breaking away from each other. There's all sorts of circumstances that the souls are creating to push forward their evolution and get closer to who they are. But, if you're able to go through it consciously, you can see that all these shifts that are happening are actually to bring in this new lighter vibration and this new energy of love and unity and togetherness and being connected to the divine. We've had and being connected to the earth as well, which is one aspect of the work that I'm really passionate about, is to do with our interconnection with the earth and growing a new relationship with the energies of the earth and how we interact with the earth. Because, for me, how I see it is as a really exciting time. It's an exciting time where lots of, people are starting to kind of wake up and know that they're more. The person that is sitting in the office and has been doing that for the last, 10 years suddenly goes, actually, I don't want to work in an office anymore. I want to be out and feel, the sun on my face. This isn't filling my soul up anymore. My soul's actually calling to me and telling me I need to go do something else. And for those that are having, there's sort of a silent migration going on at the moment too, where people are feeling really drawn to return to places where they feel the most connected. It might be England, or it might be New Zealand, which, is a piece of Lemuria, or it might be somewhere else that they feel connected to, that they feel like they need to go there and they don't know why. It's just like an inner drive, and that's the kind of thing that's happening in this transition. We're all starting to move more into our true selves and where we are, where our souls are able to flourish.
So it will help us to have this freedom to let go of the old and embrace the new.
Yes, it's really like an energetic support in some ways that, when you're going through these times of transition or times in your life where things are falling away or there's challenges that are going on that really are, on a 3D level seem awful, but on a soul level, it's evolving your soul so that you become more of who you are. It's really an energetic support so that you can go to it and go, okay, well, this is happening. I feel really lost at the moment. And you pick up the book and you read it, and suddenly the question that you had is answered. Or you might get, particularly for those that are energetically sensitive, they might get flashes or have feelings or even hear their guides talking to them by connecting with, it's just a tool, really. It's a tool, but it's a very powerful tool.
And like we mentioned in the beginning, you call yourself an intuitive healer. How does your book heal people?
That is really between Spirit and the person that's reading it. The intuitive healing aspect of it is what I sort of do in events when people book in to have treatments, and they come for individual treatments, and they have personal things that they bring that they wish to have help with, and the healing happens in a personal setting. For this book, the healing actually will happen between that soul and spirit, because that's what this book is. It's that connection to spirit, and so that will really, it really is between the individual and spirit when they read this book. Like I said, I'm just a courier. I'm not somebody who knows what that package contains for everybody. It does contain something for everybody, but I don't know everything that it contains, and I'm not meant to. I'm just the messenger.
We've been listening to Aimee. She is the author of her book, The Dawn Chorus. Aimee, tell us how we can get your book.
It's available on Barnes & Noble, and it's also available on Amazon.com. And it's published through Balboa Press, so if you go on their website, they will have links to how you can purchase it as well.
Well, thank you for being with us on Indie Book Publishing.
Thank you very much, Steve.
And this interview has been brought to everyone by Balboa Press.
You're listening to Indie Book Publishing, and we'll be right back after these messages.